to go ahead and call this meeting to order? Would you guys like to make a motion to call this meeting to order?
This is Drain. I'll make a motion to call meeting to order.
I don't think they can hear us.
Heather. Good trim.
Yeah,
This is Drain. Yeah, does anyone can hear me?
they
Can you
can't
guys
hear
hear
us.
us?
Drain. They can't hear us, Drain.
Okay,
Can you hear us now, Jim?
sounds like Matt's trying to talk.
I am. I have been.
Matt, we can't hear you.
I know you can't. You can't hear any of us.
There's some speaker that we're supposed to be able to. Let me run upstairs, figure out what the deal is. Be right back.
Technology is great.
It's interesting that they can hear us.
First that's muted.
I'm not the world's first, and I don't want to learn.
Now.
That's the bad part is I don't want to learn. I could care less. I'm like, not so much. I can't talk to a human being, then there's something wrong with the process. I'm just so tired of
I really protested Zoom meetings for life.
Still do.
I still do. I won't do them. I defer them to somebody else. I said, you do it. You know, at my church wanted to do a Bible study.
We got somebody coming so we can hear you.
Fellowship.
That's what it's supposed to be.
All right.
There's our IT expert,
I
Yes,
don't know.
Sherry.
we can see each other. I can't hear them and we're unmuted. Oh, we're supposed to turn that on?
Yep.
Oh, didn't know about that.
Hello, can you hear us now?
I don't know. Can you hear us?
Yes. Sorry
All
about
right, we can hear you.
With the stroke of a switch, right? Sherry?
Well, just turn that big knob here.
Oh, it's good.
Okay,
We're recording this, so this is
Okay.
good.
I'll get out of your meeting.
All right.
Thank you, Sherry.
You're welcome.
All right, Matt.
All right, guys, I'd like to make a motion to get this meeting started.
I'll
Second.
second the motion. It's
Okay.
Drain.
Great. Let's start with introductions. I'm Matt Johnson, Reynolds Polymer Technology, and also president of the Mesa County Safety Council.
Drain Stevens, Brain Injury Epilepsy Support Group.
Heather Condor, Mesa County Road and Bridge.
Oh, excuse me.
Shauna Grieger, Executive Director for Western Colorado Contractors Association.
Hello.
Ben Hoffman, representing U Water and the LEPC.
Tim Leon, Director of Safety and Security for School District.
I'm Jennifer Burke. I'm representing Hilltop Community Resources.
Jim Pringle, I'm the Secretary for the Mesa County Safety Council.
Jeff Colton, I'm the Warning Coordination Meteorologist for the National Weather Service.
Sherry Johnson, St. Mary's.
Rich Basher, Mesa County Sheriff, COP, Citizens on Patrol.
Jason Talley, Crisis Coordinator for the School District.
Ryan Kyle, Mesa County Solid Waste.
Glenn Kaiser, past president.
Excellent. That was everybody, I assume?
Yes,
Okay. Do we have a treasurer's report?
I didn't receive anything from Ashley, and I'm not aware that we had any bills due until February. So my assumption is that we're still sitting at $2,924.01. So
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'm not aware of any major changes except for that insurance bill that we already paid. So that is good for me. Go ahead.
we want to review the minutes before we go further.
Oh, yeah, sure. Did anybody have a chance to review the minutes?
I read them and they look fine to me, so I'll make a motion that they be approved as submitted.
I'll second that motion. Glenn?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Okay, number 4, first bullet point, 2022 hybrid safety fair planning. First bullet point is status of virtual safety fair videos and quizzes.
Well, I'll start out by saying that I've received some comments from some of the organization representatives from last year's virtual safety fair, just asking me if they thought they asked me, they said, does our video and quiz, does that still work for this year's virtual safety fair? And I've told them, yeah, if you're happy with it, that's good.
Okay, are we waiting on anybody? Have you heard of anybody that is actually making a new video or that we're waiting on, Jim? Or
Well, at the last meeting in December, I asked if Cabela's was thinking about making a video that has to do with hypothermia. So,
They're supposed to be. I haven't talked to her.
okay. So Glenn just said he's anticipating that they are making one. So Glenn said he would talk with
Debbie Testa.
at Cabela's.
okay,
I can give an update. I spoke with Megan Terlicki, MCSO. She is out with COVID this week, but she is working with school resource officers, and they're going to have an updated presentation from what they had last year. Hopefully, I should see it by the end of the week. She said Friday.
okay, that's great. Thank you for that. Anything else on the videos for the safety fair?
I was looking over my video and it seems to be okay, but if I find something or if you're requiring quizzes, I'll go ahead and put that up with it or send it to someone. So I just would need to know where to send it exactly.
Just send
Email
it
and so
to
forth.
the Mesa County Safety Council Gmail account. Should be fine. Dream.
Okay, thank you.
No, thank you.
So like I said, my video looks okay. If you guys still have it, or do I need to send that to you?
We still have it if you've already sent it in.
Okay,
The one thing we were trying to do with the quizzes is get them to be either true, false, or multiple choice, so they match up a little better than just writing in the answers. That was
Okay,
one thing that we had talked about on that.
okay, great, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Anybody else on that topic? Okay, let's move to status of promotions, PSA, media interviews, social media, partner organizations, etc. for the 22 safety fair.
I sent the PSA out last week to local media. I've gotten one request for an interview so far, KJOL Radio. And that's set up, I believe, for next week or in a couple weeks. I think we want to see as many partner organizations' websites help us to promote the safety fair as well. So when I sent out the meeting invitation, I also included as an attachment the PSA that I sent to the local media as a resource for any organization that partners with Safety Council to include that or similar information on their website. And then last year we had a social media presence. Luke, I believe, sent out information and updates on Facebook, our Safety Council Facebook page. So Luke, I don't know if you were thinking about doing that again this year or not.
Luke is just recording. He got to me at the beginning of the meeting and said he was just recording. He wasn't going to be at the meeting. I don't think it's a bad idea. You know, we could create another video. Financially, I think it was like $300 or $400 to boost that last year. for those of you that are familiar with social media, you know, you can put out a post as a page, or like as my artist page, I can put out a post, but Facebook will only give it to so many people, or what they say, serve to so many people. So what we did last year is we had that post boosted around the valley. Now, we don't necessarily have to spend that money this year, but what we could do is create a video and ask all of our partnering organizations to share that video from the Mesa County Safety Council's Facebook page on their Facebook page, or even their personal social media, to try to widen that audience naturally with the algorithm, as opposed to paying for it. So that's another option there.
Matt, I really like that option.
Yeah, I like cheap. Cheap's good. So
Cheap,
yeah,
but effective.
right, exactly. You know, that's when I'm throwing shows, or when I'm promoting shows that I may be playing at. That's what we do as bands and artists with social media. So maybe we get together and we do another video like we did last year. I'm not sure what style we want to do it in, but, you know, do just that short video that we did where the four of us were kind of talking and finishing each other's sentences, and then put that on our Facebook page once it's complete. And then we can send an email out to all of our partnering organizations through the Mesa County Safety Council's email, asking them to go to our Facebook page and share that event through their social media.
Yeah, Matt, I think that's great. For last year's virtual safety fair, I wrote up the text, the script for all of us, the four of us that did that video, and I can do it again, and I'll modify it to include the in-person safety fair.
That'd be great. You know, and then we could do another board meeting. And I think we just recorded it during the board meeting last year. Am I correct on that, Jim?
I don't remember.
It has been a year. I feel you. I hear you. But yeah, it shouldn't take much of our time, especially if we just, you know, hammer it out real quick during a board meeting.
Right. It only took us, I don't think it took us 20 minutes to do the whole thing from start to finish on when we decided and determined when we were going to do the recording.
Okay. Well, how about?
It was video.
Yeah, it was a video with the four squares of each of us. It looked like a Zoom call because it was, and everything looked like a Zoom call last year, so it was perfect.
Right.
So yeah, why don't we set up another board meeting? Maybe just do another Google poll, Jim.
Okay.
We'll all get on the same page, and then just make that one of the action items for that board meeting. One of the things that we make sure we get done before we sign off.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
I'll do that.
Thank you, Jim. Anything else on status of promotions? Okay, it sounds like we're moving along pretty well. I mean, the safety fair is another month out, so we don't want to hit them too hard and have them forget, you know, waste all of our resources, or get them tired of us hearing us say it over and over again. So that one will definitely hit a little harder down the road. Next bullet point is handout bags.
Tavella still says they're going to provide them. They're waiting for a shipment. Hopefully we're not caught up in a supply chain issue. I'm going to swing by there again after the meeting and talk to Debbie Testa about a plan B if they don't show up, whether they can get them from other stores and what the timing would be.
Okay. What I forget, when were the dates that we were planning to stuff those things?
I think it's going to start on the 7th. Does that sound right, Jim? 7th or 8th?
Let's see. That was in one of my emails I sent out just recently.
Yeah, I don't have the date here.
Yeah. Just a second.
No problem. Thank you for looking.
Matt,
Yes.
it's Sherry. I've
Hi,
received.
Sherry.
Okay. I've received the, some stuff from D51, Parks and Wildlife, St. Mary's, and Excel Energy. Those are the only 4 groups that have submitted their handout or their freebies.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
What's the number of items that you need?
1,200.
We at MCSO, we got an order in the beginning of the year, so we're still kind of waiting on it. And it's like highlighters and we refrained from whistles. We thought that parents would be upset with that. So we have some things. Yeah, so I'll have to connect with you. Let me get your number before I leave, and this way I'll know what we'll be able to provide you. If nothing else, we're gonna have a whole bunch of the deputy stickers, you know. Okay, so we'll have those, all right?
Thank you so
What was
much.
it for again?
Excel Energy, Colorado Parks and Wildlife, D51, Jason Mattys to me, and then St. Mary's. Yes.
Thank you.
This is Shauna Grieger with WCCA. You will have some, we do have some pencils, I think, from Grand Valley Bank that are coming in. We also have trifolds that go out to all of the students. So I'll go ahead and have those picked up and then brought down as well. And just for future reference, just so you guys know, we're a little bit short-staffed over here. We no longer have Britton or Carrie, so now you guys are stuck with me for the remainder.
Oh,
Would it be helpful if I picked those up for you?
I should have those probably by Friday morning. I should have those in-house.
If you'd rather me come and pick them up, please just let me know and I'll be happy to do that.
Perfect, thank you. And I know it sounds weird, but who's speaking?
Sorry, Sherry Johnson.
Sherry, thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
And Sherry, this is Jennifer Burke with Hilltop. I'm filling in for Jennifer Beamer's attendance, but we have a delivery coming in today that we're intending to get to you as soon as possible from Hilltop. Fridge magnets and a couple other supplies.
Thank you so much.
This is Drain. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Drain.
When exactly do you want those in? Because like I said, I'm in a mess of waiting for mine, hopefully within the next 2 days.
You know, we just need them before it's time to stuff the bags. I've been
Okay.
contacted by those 3 other entities and just was able to get them in and get them picked up. So please let me know if you need extra help transporting and running around. I don't mind.
Oh, great. That's perfect because might be a problem right now. So thank you.
Totally understand.
So am I clear? The 7th is the date you're stuffing the bags?
so the, yeah, I looked up what we had discussed earlier, and sometime during the week of February 7th. So that's Monday. So February 7th through 11th, sometime during that week was when we determined that we would be filling the bags. And I believe February 2nd was the cutoff date we originally gave people. But, you know, as long as people don't show up while we're filling the bags, because that's a real chaotic situation.
So let's just call it the 4th, maybe. If we're going to start stuffing the bags on the 7th, we'll call that cutoff date the 4th.
Okay.
And then once that gets closer, in the past, I haven't been around to stuff a lot of the bags, but you guys are right down the road from me where we're going to stuff the bags. So I should be able to get down there and assist with that.
Can you give me an idea? This is Drain. Can you give me the area in which or where we're going to be, where I need to drop off my information to exactly? My mind stinks.
That's okay. At St. Mary's, there's that ugly rusty building that's closest to Patterson. It's called the Sacramento Annex.
Oh, okay.
And you can just call me and I'll come down there and open the door and we'll put things in that back closet and then we'll be able to stuff things in the same room.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Does it have a door number like all the other ones?
It's number 9 for the entrance, but you might not see it. It's in a terrible location. But the easiest way to describe it is the rusty building by the old part of the hospital.
On the south side, I guess,
I don't know directions like
Next
that.
door.
It's closest to Patterson.
closest to Pat.
Yeah.
So it's on the north side of the parking lot, the rusty brick building there that you
Yes.
see it when you're in there seeing a patient. If you look out those north windows, you can see that rusty building.
There you go. It's like there's a bunch of power equipment.
That's
and
where you took cooling towers and
yes,
stuff.
like all of that kind of stuff is right there beside it.
for Mesa County Health Department.
Hey, Jim, this
Yeah.
is Shauna. I know in the past, or one of the past minutes that I read, because I read them every month, it says that you were sending out something that said exactly where to drop off stuff, where to go to
Yes.
stuff bags, what the dates were. Could you send that back out again?
Yeah, I'll resend that,
Okay,
because I know I've sent it already, but I'll resend.
thank you.
You bet.
Right around the first of the year, I think.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's right.
I have a question about, before, when we were participating as vendors at the safety fair, we needed to fill out applications. Since involved in the council already, do you still need that information or that application filled out and sent?
Yes, because we use that information from a spreadsheet that, then we take that spreadsheet with us when we go to Mesa Mall and with the new person there and Joe. And then we just go down the line and we share that information with them from Mesa Mall to help us know where the best places are for the exhibitors.
Okay, and where can I find that application, or will you send that out?
It's on the Safety Council. Yeah, I already sent a message out about that. What was that, 2 weeks ago?
Okay,
Yeah, 2 Fridays ago, I sent that out. But it's also, you just go to the Safety Council website where it says the 2022 Safety Fair, just click on that and it'll take you to the page where there's the online application for exhibitors.
okay, great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, anything else on handout bags? Are we good to move to the next bullet point? Okay, prizes for student participation is the next bullet point.
So we have about a half dozen organizations that have already either gotten the prizes or have committed and said they will have prizes to give. And I've started a spreadsheet with all of that information. And then pretty soon I will send out an email message to those organizations, to the representatives that have said their organization is going to provide prizes, and just letting them know what to do with the prizes. I assume we'll do like last year. We'll go out, those of us who have the time to do that, including myself, go out and collect those prizes and have them, you know, like we did last year. I think Glenn had some at his house, I had some at my house, and then once we have the drawing for which classes get the prizes, then, you know, we'll just distribute them.
Okay, great. Sounds like that's pretty under control. Anybody else have anything on that, or should we move to the next bullet point?
I just have a question regarding that. Who do we contact when our prize donations are available for pickup or facilitation?
You can just send that information to the Mesa County Safety Council's email account.
Okay.
Just say, hey, we have our prize available here, so whenever you want to coordinate with us to have it picked up, just let us know. Something like that.
Thank you. Will do.
Thank you. As I recall, Hilltop is going to have a gift basket. I think that's what the,
We have a couple beanbag chairs to give away to the classrooms.
Oh, wow. That's cool too.
Okay, thank you for that. School invitations and SD 51 teacher registration status.
Okay, as soon as we had our web page set up for the 2022 Safety Fair, which was late morning, 2 Fridays ago, I sent out the message, the invitations to the teachers that afternoon, as well as the invitation for exhibitors. And we I was expecting that we would start seeing some teachers registering, by early last week. Well, I didn't see anything, so I had a call into Ari Goldberg from School District 51, and anyway, I spoke with him this morning and coordinated with Debbie Cadle this morning, and apparently Debbie didn't see the invitation information that I sent to her and Ari 2 Fridays ago. And by the time she saw it, it was too late to include in their Friday distribution to all of the schools. So it didn't go out until last Friday, so 5 days ago. But, and of course, they had the day off yesterday, Martin Luther King Day. But this morning at 8:30 a.m., and school, just the teachers don't get there till what, 7 o'clock or 7:30? I don't know what time they get there, but anyways, in that short amount of time, we already have 200 students registered. So I spoke with Ari about that this morning, and he said that, just, they'll be coming in. He said he's had numerous inquiries from the teachers over the last month or so, wanting to know how they register for this, and he's been telling them. And the message originally went out on Save the Date. Ari sent that out in late October. So the teachers have had this on their calendar for quite some time now. And Ari said, expect many, many registrations to be coming in over the next several days. So I'm looking for that. We did have one issue. One of the teachers said she hadn't received her confirmation email yet. So Jeff is here, Jeff Colton from the Weather Service, who was the primary person developing those online forms, and they worked pretty flawlessly 2 years ago. So I don't know what the issue is, but Jeff said he would look into it and see what we can do to fix that. But anyway, I after seeing the responses this morning, I'm pretty enthused, encouraged. I wasn't so much last week, at the end of last week, saying that, wait, where are the teachers, registrations? Now I know why they weren't coming in, and now I expect a flurry of registrations to be coming in this week. And so does Debbie and Ari. Oh, additionally, Debbie sent out an updated message today to all of the schools and the elementary schools, including the secretaries, to make sure that all of their 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade teachers received the invitation through School District 51 last Friday.
Excellent. That's great news, Jim. Does anybody else have anything on that, or shall we move to the next bullet point?
I'll just mention, I'll get with Jim, I'll get with you guys after the meeting. I had to send an email out to him from my personal email 2 years ago, because we're giving them 2 choices. So we got to tell them which choice they get for busing.
Oh, okay.
And then that's when I tell them to go ahead and go get your bus registration for that.
Oh,
Either
okay.
your first choice or your second choice. Or I go back and forth with emails if neither one of those worked. So there's a little back and forth, unless you give them if you give me first choice, their first choice, you gotta tell them. I couldn't figure out how to do that through Google.
Oh, okay.
Or Google Drive or whatever. So I just send an email to them, hey, we got your registration. Good for your first choice or your second choice, or can you consider something other? The other 2 choices, depending on how booked up the sessions are.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't quite sure how that worked out.
Yeah, I can give you examples.
So we did that manually 2 years ago.
Well, manually from PC.
Right. But it wasn't online that we had to do that.
Right.
Okay. Maybe we can get that fixed for at least next year to start doing that as well.
Yeah, I'm sure it could be done. I just didn't have.
Jeff Colton, for sure, we can get that done, right?
Theoretically.
Theoretically, yes, anything's possible.
Yeah.
And I know people, so.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, next item of business, busing for SD 51 students.
I guess that was our segue.
Yeah, not too much new there. They probably haven't received any requests yet. Tim's still there. Tim, you had mentioned a possible shortage of bus drivers.
I can check with STA and see where we're at with that. It shouldn't be a problem because those buses will have run their routes by the time it starts. So those drivers can go to the schools. Might be a little bit of a tight squeeze at the end of the day. But I'll confirm with Dara Barnes and make sure we're good with that.
Okay.
Yeah, and Tim, if you just want to send an email to the Safety Council's email account after you find out that information, that'd be really good.
I can do that.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, Tim. All right, exhibitor application status and firewall to online form.
Yeah, I threw in that last little thing about firewalls after I encountered Xcel Energy, both their natural gas and their electrical divisions. Apparently they have a firewall and they're not allowed, well, won't allow them to go in and fill in the form online. So I just took the basic information from the online form, put it into a PDF format and sent it to both of them last week. And they sent it back to me within a day, and I entered their information into the online form, and it came out fine. The only thing we need to fix is that and I would have known this had I not had to enter somebody else's application. But the response that comes back, it says, "Thank you for being an exhibitor for the 2020 safety fair." So we need to get that one updated to say 2022. But otherwise, that one seems to be working flawlessly.
That was by design, because it's 2022.
Yeah.
Like a sequel?
Yeah, just repeat, rinse and repeat.
I really don't want a sequel to 2020, guys.
Oh, never ending.
Okay, anything else on that? Yeah,
Yes.
nothing's really changed in the last 2 years, right? Anything
Right.
else on the last bullet point?
Yes.
Okay,
So as of this morning, we had 10 exhibitors that have completed their online application. And of course, I know of at least half dozen others that are planning to do that. They've said they're going to be there and just haven't filled out the application yet. So, but I just got a message from Jamie Romero from the U.S. Forest Service this morning saying that due to the COVID concerns, they won't be able to participate this year. So they're out, and I wonder, there was a message from Justin at the Bureau of Reclamation, and her message, it had to do with the handout items, but there was an implication in her message that they probably wouldn't be there as well, probably for the same reason. And I don't know about the National Weather Service. I hope maybe next year they'll be back.
Maybe next year.
Okay.
I got bad news for this year.
I kind of figured that. So the feds have bombed out on us because of COVID, but you know, it is what it is. And, you know, I appreciate people trying to stay safe and all of that. And as an exhibitor and I've heard, you know, exhibitors and we talked about this at the last meeting, you know, what do we do as exhibitors regarding this COVID situation, you know, at the in-person safety fair? And the general policy is, you know, do, you know, what's recommended. You know, there's no hard and fast rules, but if you're more comfortable wearing a mask, you know, great. I know I will be, because even without COVID in the past, being around all these small children, many of them are carrying the virus of a cold or a flu bug from one of their siblings or classmates. And in fact, I think at the last safety fair, there were 2 kids that were sick at safety fair. I remember one of them threw up. And so I tend to catch a cold or something right after the safety fairs. So this year I'm going to be wearing a mask. Just, I don't know how much it'll help, but anything I can do to prevent myself from getting sick, even if it's not COVID, you know, I'm going to do that. So.
Yeah, there's a respiratory virus going on around that is hitting people pretty hard. It knocked me out all last week. 2 quick tests and a PCR test confirmed it wasn't COVID, but I'd almost wish it had been because I'm inoculated against that. I don't know how much you guys pay attention, but it's a job of mine. I have to control that around here. And I will tell you that the numbers are higher than they've ever been throughout the pandemic. Our week percent positivity rating right now is hovering between 16 and 17%. And that's definitely why the feds are bombing out on us. Yep. What was it? Last Monday, we had 908 cases in a day.
Wow.
That was Mesa County?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Wow. So we'll see what happens, but.
Yeah, just yesterday was 281 cases. And we've been in the triple digits for some time, but as the numbers are showing right now, it's the highest numbers we've seen at any point in the pandemic. So we want to just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
As far as a hard and fast rule, I agree with you, Jim. You know, if you guys are exhibiting and you want to wear a mask, great. I'm not going to be the person walking around making sure everybody's wearing a mask. It's just, we're not going to do that. I believe School District 51 will do what they believe is right to ensure the safety of the students. And we're just going to follow the free to choose resolution under Mesa County, which is, you know, if you choose to wear a mask, great. And if you don't, great. I will tell you that my personal preference, I'll be wearing one, and I've been behind one for the last couple of years. So there's my downer COVID speech for you guys.
And as you said at the last meeting, you know, if School District 51 has major problems with COVID and a bunch of kids being sick, and they cancel out at the last minute, you know, like you said, Matt, we'll hope for the best and plan or be prepared for the worst.
Yep. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, and maybe you can tell me, Tim, but from what I understand, within the next week or two, we're going back to mask mandates in School District 51. Is that true, or is that just something I heard around the grapevine?
Well, this is Jason Talley. I'm with the school district, and I.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. Tim, I think got to step away. No, I think there's several schools that are above the 2% mark that are having to go to mask mandates at this time. Now, by the time the safety fair is held, that might change, but they have enough positivity in some of the schools that some are going to mask mandates.
Okay, and that's what I was hearing yesterday. We have a few people here that their significant others work in the school district, so I hear a little bit of everything. You know, as that's been my job on top of all my other jobs for the last couple of years. Thank you for that.
Yep.
Okay, the next bullet point, sorry, I went off on a tangent there for a minute. The next bullet point is location of exhibitor booths and displays.
I'll take that one, Matt. Natalie and I at the mall tried to get together, and she scheduled a meeting for yesterday, not knowing that their corporate offices closed for the holiday, which most retailers don't. So I guess she assumed they were going to be there. But I did talk to her over the phone, and everything's a go on their part. She thinks they'll be able to hold the $800 cost as it's been previously. And I did talk to her specifically about what we just talked about, that we may have to defer it or cancel it. She said they would work with us, and as far as a cancellation fee or anything like that. She's checking with the new manager to see what kind of a contract they're going to use, whether they're using the one they used in previous years. And I haven't been able to locate mine, but I'll find one by the time I talk to her next week. So I think we're okay on that end. And according to Joe, the maintenance guy, and the way the mall is laid out, I think everything will be okay for getting WCCA back at the front where they've been in the past and getting the law enforcement people back to Clock Tower. There is a small trailer, drink trailer in front of the Starbucks where they used to have the outdoor sitting area there. I don't think that'll affect as much than what the sitting area there did before. And then the big area, Home Goods has some stuff for kids to play with at the other intersection down by Cabela's and come from Cabela's and Penny's, which is where I think most of the law enforcement was last year. They got a big green carpet there. I don't know whether that's going to be available to vehicles or not. But we should need it if we get the vehicles back to Clock Tower.
Well,
Sure.
and with some of the federal people bailing out on us, right, that's just going to give us more prime real estate to give to people that are sticking through this one if we don't have to cancel it.
Yeah, if the weather service is going to be there, then that gives us a big area at Clock Tower for law enforcement. It gives us room to move away from that drink trailer that I assume still good.
Yeah, you may have reduced vehicles this year. I spoke with Rich Roquemore and GJPD. I don't know if they're, because of all that's going on there, they're down significantly in manpower. I don't know if they're even going to participate. So I told them I'd send the minutes or send info from here, and I'll try to connect as best as I can to see if they'll get an application.
I was going to call my contact, Paula. I can't
Yeah,
remember her last name.
Paula, yeah, I know. I'd give her a call ASAP because as of yesterday, nothing was decided for them to come.
Okay, pretty sure state patrol is still.
And I'll see Matt Warzanik tomorrow. We had a meeting and I'll confirm with him.
Okay.
Have you talked with the fire department as well?
Anybody heard from fire department?
No, I haven't heard a thing.
No, nothing.
I'll check with them. today
Oh,
to
okay.
see what's going on. Last time they were like, well, they waited till the last minute to invite us, and I was like, I don't think we did, so I'll just touch base with them and
Well,
see if they can come.
yeah, make sure the contact that we have in there is,
The correct one. They've
The
had some
correct one.
recent changes, so.
I think they changed their PIO, didn't
oh,
did or
okay.
didn't?
they? Did.
Oh, Ellis, Thompson Ellis, or
Right,
the other one? Dirk.
yeah, Dirk.
I'll also make sure I'm meeting with Search and Rescue today to see if they have a representation out there too.
That'd be great.
They're always last minute kind of guys.
Who was the guy that did the tree hugger program, the search and rescue?
I can't think of his name. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
But he had some great handouts.
He did.
Yeah, he would, I mean, if we can capture that.
I can't think of his name. I could see his face
Me too.
with
He's
the
been
long
there
hair.
for like
Yeah.
ever.
Yes, and I'm sure he'll be there again.
Yeah. He's been forever with search and rescue. He was
Yeah.
very entertaining for the kids too.
Great. And Cabela's hasn't sent in their exhibitor application, done that yet either.
I'll check with her on that too.
Okay, thanks, Lynn.
So I guess that's another thing to look out for, guys. You know, let's just watch those applications and see how thick they get, you know. That would be another thing to look at as far as, you know, throwing a safety fair with only 5 exhibitors might be a little lackluster. So that's just another one of the million things that we got to look out for in the next month, right?
Yeah, and like I said, as of this morning, there were 10 organizations already signed up. We've got the 3 big ones for the utilities this year. We got XL Natural Gas, XL Electric, and Grand Valley Power. So in each of those, we need like 30 chairs for additional for their setups, so the kids can sit down and have a classroom setting for those presentations.
I'd like to see him new. Have you talked with Pam
And Holder?
in the nursing program too? To see if they were
I think they're supposed to be a go according to Brian.
Yeah, Brian said they're supposed to be a go, the EMT program. Yeah,
perfect.
what my counterpart is.
I've got my list from 2 years ago, Matt, and I was just gonna start going through there and making a personal contact and making sure on a yes or no.
Okay, that's great. I appreciate that, Glenn.
And one other thing, I will go ahead and send out the Excel spreadsheet that we have so far, or the spreadsheet we have so far from
Okay.
the online applications onto our Safety Council email page, and I'll send it directly to all the board members.
Okay,
Do that.
Great.
Well, or should I just send that to the entire mailing list? I don't know. I don't want,
let's say send it to the,
Personally?
let's say send it to the entire mailing list. Maybe
okay,
maybe there's some information that we leave off of there. I'll let you determine on that. But what it may do is if we send it out to the entire list, some people might go, oh man, we forgot to register. And it might be a reminder, right?
right. It's actually, I made a separate spreadsheet that doesn't have all the details on it.
Yeah,
It
you
just
don't
has
want
the
all
names
those.
of the organizations. And that's what I'll send out.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect, Jim. Thank you.
That'd be good. This is Shauna. It's not on call, so I didn't see him on the call or in the room or anything. I know he brought it to a couple of our meetings. He's trying to get some more of the utilities, the regional utilities directors and stuff also involved. So I know he's been pushing that pretty hard, and we have another meeting tomorrow.
Who's
So
that?
hopefully get some more. Sonatum Khalsa, Colorado 811.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And I apologize. I've got to run, guys, to the 11:30 meeting. So thank you, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Yeah, thanks, Shauna. We appreciate you.
Thank you very much. Okay,
All right, next bullet point, volunteers to assist the in-person safety fair.
That's our bailiwick. I need to just coordinate with, this is Rich. I need to coordinate with Glenn. So the times, and so I'm not gonna have as many in numbers. I'll have probably 2 to 3 hustling down there from the CMU Criminal Justice Program, our COPs, student COPs, and I think the EMS program is going to help with that. Brian and a person that was with me last week, last time, Jalen Bloomfield, are organizing that. And I'll meet tomorrow with them at 12 or 1 o'clock, and I'll have an update.
Yeah, I'll start getting in touch with you.
I'll just coordinate directly, but Matt, we should have no problem staffing for the 2 days.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that. We do appreciate it. Obtaining feedback, dash prize incentive.
I didn't know if there were any additional items in there besides Colorado 811, where Sonatum at the last meeting said that he was pretty sure they'd be able to have some kind of a gift certificate or something like that for a drawing at, after we notify the teachers. Once we get the complete list of teachers that are registered, we'll notify them and let them know about this, so that it will perhaps be an incentive for them to send us feedback after the in-person safety fair, and also for the teachers that participate in the virtual safety fair the following week.
Okay, perfect. And then not the last, but other, any other business as far as prepping for the hybrid safety fair / in-person safety fair?
I got a couple of quick ones. I asked Grand Junction Chamber of Commerce if they would provide the event insurance for us again. And when I got back to see if they were going to do that, they had already done it. So I have a certificate of the liability insurance for the event covered by their blanket policy, which comes from home loan insurance. So we're taking care of there. And I contacted Elite Events and had them, they're going to ticket for tables and chairs. We've used them all the 7 or 8 years I've been involved for additional tables and chairs, but I told them we wouldn't know for a while what that account was going to be, but they do have us on the calendar and they're still in business. That's all I had.
Okay, thank you, Glenn. Anything else on the other? Okay, we have a bullet point for fundraising. I'm not aware that we've done any fundraising. I know that we're really aiming to try to get back at that after we finish the safety fair. Real quick, does anybody have anything on that?
Yeah, Matt, I couldn't get in touch with Ashley over the holidays. So I went ahead and put my wife's check in the bank account, and I took information out to Ashley, the deposit slip and everything. So technically, I think there's 2,500 on top of that 29.
Awesome.
So it's already in there.
Once again, we appreciate that, Glenn.
Yes.
No problem.
And then last but not least, additional items. I guess that would fit right in with other. Does anybody have anything else before we adjourn this meeting?
Matt, I can just give you an update. I've been in contact with Community Hospital, Karen Martzoff, their public information liaison. She is very interested, and she had said, yeah, we participated in the past. This COVID thing, they've been busy. We've all been kind of busy, but I thought maybe if we gave a formal invitation, and I don't want to put anything on you, but something that comes from the board as a formal invitation to join us once again would be nice. They're very interested, and both she and I have been communicating, but I'd like to solidify that with a letter or just a nice invitation to her and a little overview of what we're doing. I know she can look at the website, but maybe something a little personal.
Okay, I do apologize. I missed all of that. My phone rings 24/7. I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but my phone just rang in the middle of that. So I apologize.
I was just saying, I've been in contact with Karen Martzoff. Of course, Community Hospital's been busy. It's tough connecting with her with all that's going on there with COVID and whatnot. She was very positive when I spoke to her about her involvement, or at least saying that community would probably certainly look at becoming involved, whether we have them on board this year or after the safety fair and get them on as a member. I just thought it might be nice with a letter of invitation to their office. Maybe I spoke to Jim and Glenn. We could outline something that gives a little, it might be something we develop when we invite somebody. This is what we do.
I totally agree with that. Kind of a welcome to the team packet.
Welcome to the team kind of packet.
Yeah.
Thank you for considering us,
Yeah. This is what we do. These are the advantages of
right.
being a part of the Mesa County Safety Council, all of that good stuff. That's not a bad idea at all. I like it.
And I'll reconnect with her, and I haven't in with her since her husband works at the MCSO.
Oh, okay.
I'll kind of connect and reaffirm and say some things that are coming down the pike. And we recognize, I think we're behind the 8 ball. This has just been a busy year for us all.
Yeah. No, that's great. Maybe that's something that after the safety fair, we add as a bullet point as a council and figure out what we want that to look like.
Yeah, certainly their involvement would be greatly appreciated, but I certainly don't think it's going to be critical to this year's safety fair. But it's something we need to do in the future to invite and get and interest more people to get involved.
Yeah, we definitely need to expand.
Yeah,
After they built the new hospital.
Yeah, she did relate that. She said, yeah, we had been involved. So I don't know why
And they went through budget cuts.
Everybody, and I'll tell you what, I think you would agree, the hospitals are just running at a rate. I'm lucky to get her, the best way to get her is via email, but I do like talking to people.
Right. Well, and a lot of people, and we discussed this back when I was voted in president, seems like eons ago, but it was back in 2019, where we really were we wanted to add more presentations and add more value to the attendance of the people of the council. And that could very well be why some of the people that used to be there in the past aren't here now, so I think that all ties into the training that we were talking about, adding a little value to just showing up to the council, free trainings there and things like that. So, what can we do for you, I guess, is kind of what I'm aiming at, to kind of go with what you're saying as well. Community, it'd be great to get them on, but how do we onboard people in the future?
And not to labor that point, but I think that's really excellent. We were introduced, I say we, MCSO, Sheriff's Department, the safety fair, but when you did some training and, safety training, and there's a lot of expertise throughout this board on topics that will be of tremendous interest. I think it would lend to that time well spent value thing that people have, because we're all busy. And I think it's pretty well known. I'm not a Zoom meter, and I defer that to Brian, and he's good at it. But I think when we start giving a little something meaningful in a sense, and like I said, there's a lot of people here who have a lot of good information. I think it really pays off.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So let's definitely put that as an action item. Not for now. Let's hold off on, these are great ideas and I love it. It's all what I've been pointing at for a while now that we've been talking about for the last couple months. But you know, once we get this safety fair in the rear view successfully, let's really start looking at our public outreach and that value added that we were just speaking about.
Amen. Sounds good.
Excellent. Does anybody have anything else before we adjourn this meeting?
Yeah, the next meeting is February 8th, so that's coming up quickly. So that's the week before the in-person safety fair.
Yep, and that's the week of the bag stuffings.
Same week, so we won't want to have, I don't think we want to have our meeting, you know, the same day.
No, and we
So
can
we'll
discuss.
have to determine that after coordinating with Sherry, when we want to do that, and that week.
I just arranged for the EMT students to do all of the bag stuffing for us.
Oh, perfect.
I think they did that 2 years ago.
Yeah. They did.
Are they gonna come over there and do it?
Yes,
Okay.
Pam's gonna bring them over and do all of that. She's working
Or
on
we
it.
took them over there and that didn't work too good.
No, she's gonna just bring them over there. It gives me a chance to kind of talk with them about their clinicals and some of that stuff. So it's actually quite perfect. We can talk about all kinds of stuff while they're there. So exactly. I was texting Pam going, you haven't filled out your application yet. Are you coming? How many students are you bringing? And so she said, we'll stuff the bags too. And I'm like, okay, that's what you get for late application.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, she's good. People.
She is. She's amazing and she loves to do stuff like this. So it's perfect.
Great.
Additionally, I think it's a good idea for one or two of us that are on the board to be there, maybe helping at the same time, so that if there's any questions, we can answer them.
I want to be there. I'll start rounding up boxes.
Okay,
Yeah, they did it at night over there. It was hard to be there. Parking was terrible.
Right.
None of us had parking permits.
And apparently nobody likes to go out to them to where they stuffed the bags last year. I was like, oh my,
yeah, what, it took 3 days to fill the bags?
yeah.
Where'd you guys build up?
Highline, right?
I was gonna say, yeah,
Well,
Cool.
we didn't want a lot of people because we're right about with COVID. So we
right.
set it
So
up
just
to do it over 3 days.
took a little long.
But it worked.
It always does.
Okay, so Sherry, I'll just let you determine what day the bags can be filled, and just let, you can just send that out to the
The whole,
Yeah, just brought.
whole group or whatever.
perfect.
So are we saying you have enough volunteers to stuff those bags, or we still need to?
Board
Get some-
members and the EMT students, I think will be sufficient.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Because they'll have a class, there'll be at least 25 students there. So,
Oh, great.
Oh, wow.
yeah.
I still may be laid up for that.
That's like half of a class, so there'll be at least half of the class there. They'll get extra extra points for it, so.
I know Pam
Because
very well.
Yeah. I want to make sure that it stays that they're actually
We
in
put all
school.
the boxes with the bags. We put it in ambulance to take over the mall. That didn't work very good.
No. That would be-
All right, guys. I am running pretty short on time. I do appreciate all the volunteering, everybody being here, helping make this safety fair a success. Is there anything for me before I jump off this call?
I'll make a motion that the meeting officially concludes at, let's see, what time is it?
11:30.
11:37.
Okay, perfect. I'll second that motion. Once again, thanks everybody, and you guys have a great day. We'll talk to you real soon.
You too.
What's your cell number?